Welcome back to our Sunday Coaches Corner with myself, Coach Knox, and Coach Kimmey.
What's up? What's going on? Go Scorps!
So, brief recap of last week. We spoke about a lot of the exciting things we did during the off season. And moving into today's show, we're going to start with the exciting updates. What do you have for me, Coach?
All right, man. Well, good to see you again, brother. Another week back at it. So, just make sure you check out Satellite Football on YouTube. That's our profile name on there, and check out the coaches show from last week. And just like Coach Knox just talked about, we spent a lot of time talking about kind of the movement that's happening here at Satellite Football and all the great things that are going on, and we're just pumped to be back at it for another week and talking about again. I guess. There's a lot going on, a lot of good stuff, man. I guess we got enough to fill a show.
All the time, yeah. Something new is happening all the time.
Yeah, right. So at least there is a show going on, so that's good. We got stuff to talk about. That is a good thing. So kind of the focus for this week, our goal is to keep it less than 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Let's see if we can handle that this week. I tend to get a little long-winded, so I apologize for that last week. We'll try and keep it shorter this week. But this week we're going to talk a little bit about some of the updates with the schedule for next year and our coaching staff coming up and some of the spring goals, because tomorrow's the day.
Tomorrow's the day.
Tomorrow's the day, baby.
Everybody's excited about it, man.
I know, man. There is a buzz in the air, and it's always good to get back to coaching and getting back on the field. So
absolutely. So what do we have new coming in, Coach? No, we have a couple surprises.
Yeah, there's always surprises. Nobody knows about these uniforms. He was just asking me about the uniforms before we started.
Wait, let me know.
I'm not even telling him.
I asked for some details.
There's only a few people that know. It's like the nuclear codes, So players ask me every day. But we are getting Adidas uniforms. Nobody knows what they look like, but I keep telling the guys that they're going to be the best looking team in the state, no doubt the county. So, I mean, you look good, you feel good, you play good. I mean, you've been a player, you know.
Exactly. I'll wear my Adidas cleats.
Yeah.
I know fast.
That's right. Yeah, they make you a little bit faster, right?
They do.
That's what the guys keep asking me. So, so they can take their pictures and put it on Snapchat and all that stuff. So, or whatever they do, Snap Face. And then so. New uniforms coming. We bought, on top of that, really just not just uniforms, the safety equipment that we got. I mean, we got 6 additional SpeedFlex helmets, which are some of the best helmets, concussion-reducing helmets on the market. And we got 4 new Shutt F7s, which are the brand new Shutt helmets. USF wears them. A bunch of college and NFL programs around the country are using those helmets. And again, I think they're the #1. If SpeedFlex is like right there, right behind them in that Virginia Tech concussion study. So we're excited about the new equipment that we got, and it's just another opportunity for our guys to feel comfortable and play safe. But on top of that, they're going to look good while they're doing it too in the new uniform. So like I said, the buzz is going on, and the kids are excited about it, but I am not telling a soul. So the goal is to release the uniforms on the first day of school.
Okay.
We're going to do it in the weight room, and the guys will walk in. The guys who have the best attendance over summer will get to be the guys that wear the uniforms first. So we're excited too. So we also got our helmets are going to be new color, all white on white. So we're changing it up a little bit. I got the inspiration from the Army-Navy game.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw the Army game.
Those Arctic.
The Arctic style,
yeah,
the white on white.
Those are nice.
I love that look. So. And I'm an Army guy, so that really inspired me. So that's going to be kind of our look, kind of like a Nebraska style feel to it.
Yeah, I got you.
So yeah, really pumped about it. Already decorated. I got a helmet. I pulled it aside. I already decorated it. All I can say one word. I'm going to say chrome. Chrome. That's all I'm going to say is chrome.
All right.
That's a little sneak peek.
That's exciting.
Sneak
That's
peek.
exciting.
It's chrome. Anytime you say chrome with the kids these days, man, there's like eyes get all big and hard eyes, like that heart emoji. All right, so. Those are some of the things going on, and we're excited about that stuff coming up.
Now, I know that we have some new additions to the coaching staff.
Yep, so unfortunately we're losing you, man. I don't know how we're going to fill those shoes.
I'm heading out, man, but I know you have a couple of good guys coming.
Well, that's all right. I'm going to wait 2 years and just hire you back again. So
He
thinks he can get away. He's not getting away. But, no, so good thing is we were able to find some, when I hire coaches, my first thing that I look for is what I want my son to play for you. are they good role models? Are they good teachers? Do they care? Do they build meaningful relationships?
Yeah.
Do the kids want to play for them? Can they communicate? Those are the things to me that are way more important than football knowledge. You know as well as I know, you can learn all that stuff. You know what I mean? But if you're just a bad person, it's hard to change that. You know what I mean?
That's what our program does. We build character.
That's right, man.
Have good character to build character.
Amen, brother. So it starts with the coaching staff. You know that. So that was kind of my first priority when I looked to hire guys. So we hired a new quarterback coach. I coached quarterbacks for the last couple of years, and it's good to kind of step back from that and give it to somebody else. A young guy, Sean Ashley, great man, just a great person. Played at Florida Tech 4 years at quarterback, so college quarterback, and then coached quarterbacks for the last couple of years. So he's a special guy, number one, which is my number one priority. And a great role model, and then on top of that, he's going to do a great job with our quarterback. So we're looking to build. I'm kind of proud of. A little bit of quarterback going on.
Yeah.
I'm kind of proud of the quarterbacks that we've developed over the last couple of years. So Alex Nix went on to go to All-State quarterback. Went on to play in college for a year or so, and still looking here in the next couple of years to get at a place again. And then Noah Mummy, Florida's Independent Player of the Year, and going to go play quarterback in college too. So we're looking just to continue to develop that quarterback, that stable we got,
Definitely.
So we got a lot of young guys going on. So we're excited about that. And then just our we hired a line coach who played at the University of Georgia Bulldogs, Rick Dormany, coached in Georgia for 30 years, and he's just got a wealth of knowledge. And then we got our whole new JV staff. You were on JV staff for us, and did a great job, and you and that whole crew leaving really kind of left a huge void. So again, we found some great local guys that were coaching in the youth leagues around here. So good couple of great things about that is
they already have a rapport with the players.
Yeah, and I'll go into it here in a little bit. I don't want to steal my fire, but they brought in them moving up. Really kind of built the groundwork for all the kids that came out, these 8th graders that came out here over the last couple of days. So that's Troy Palmer, Mark Malkin, Robert Seeley, and Jim Gagan. So those guys. We also got a linebacker coach who came in from Illinois, Ryan Henkel, who coached at a playoff team in Illinois. So he's going to be helping coach our linebackers. So we're just excited from top to bottom. We made some moves. Garrett Keith's moving from D-line to O-line. So we're just, I tell you what, I tell us all the times, and we talked about it, what gives us an edge is our schemes, but that starts with the coaching staff. So I feel like our coaching staff's the best in the state. I feel like we're best at developing players, and I'm excited to see how it all pans out.
Well, so then how about we go into the schedule here?
Yeah, he's got the schedule for me. That way I don't.
If we're going to start with JV coach.
Yep.
We got Bayside first.
All right, so we're going to start with JV. They got a full 7-game schedule, so we're pumped about that. That's for our younger guys, that junior varsity program. Last year had a winning record, and we're looking to build on that again. So we start off with Bayside, play them twice. We open up this season with them and then end the season with them. We play MCC twice as well, a home and away game. And then mixed in there, we play Harmony and O'Galley. So, you're looking at 7 games. We're also going to do an inter-squad. I thought that was kind of cool to mix up the season. And it's good for those guys to kind of continue to develop, and you're always getting playing time. Our number one priority with JV is it's not about winning games. That's not an emphasis. It's more about developing these kids for varsity and physically and mentally develop them to play at the varsity level. And on top of that, playing time. Getting them meaningful, valuable playing time, so these kids are comfortable and confident and prepared to move up to the next level.
Yeah, definitely.
And then on the varsity level, our biggest game this year is going to be we're traveling to Alabama, man. I'm excited.
That's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
We're in Alabama.
We're going to Gulf Shores, Alabama, which is it's like the Key West of Alabama, at least so I've heard.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't been there, but from the pictures I've seen, it looks beautiful. And on top of that, we get to go play some football. We'll be the first satellite team to travel outside the state. We're going to leave on Thursday. Before the game, we're going to stay in a hotel as a team, do a beach barbecue as a team, travel polos, travel gear, backpacks, all that thing. So these guys are pumped. Like we talked about last time with Key West, anytime you travel together, it's a good time.
It's a good bonding experience for the team, too.
Yep. And it's a little bit different. It's not our first game this year. It's week 4, but for us, it's still going to be, I think, an awesome time to just kind of break that ground of getting outside the state.
Yeah, definitely.
Seeing how we match up against some other competition out there.
There we go.
And then, so our spring game coming up, I'll just talk about that. There's a couple important events coming up. We got our May 12th inter-squad game that we play every year. That's on Saturday, May 12th. The kickoff's at 7. We do a tailgate before that kicks off at 5. And then we're having our spring game on Wednesday, May 16th. It's at Merritt Island. It's a jamboree, so we'll do 2 quarters against Merritt Island and then 2 quarters against Heritage. So we're pumped about getting to see how we match up against some other teams in the county, and both great programs that we're playing and great coaches. And we're excited to just see the validation of all our hard work in spring, which is about to start up here. And then most of our schedule remains the same from last year, only a few changes. The Kickoff Classic is now Space Coast, where it was Key West last year. We're going to play Space Coast at home for the Kickoff Classic. And other than that, we added in MCC, which is it's going to be week 8. And that's on October 12th, and we're going to play them at home, which is, they were a 3A playoff team last year, so we're excited about adding them to the schedule. And anytime you can get a county team in there, it's always good. So we're pumped. Another year to validate all the hard work we've been doing and validate our culture and validate our coaching staff and all the great players that we have in the program. So I look for it to be another awesome year, but it's going to be a challenging year, just like any other football season.
Definitely.
It's not easy. Success is not easy. It comes at a price, and I talked about that today with the players. So, and then we'll look to end it all with the Heroes Bowl again. You got to win 5 games, so our goal is at least to win 5 games to be eligible for that. So, and end our season with the Heroes Bowl, and that'll be November 9th would be the goal for that, and that'll be another home game, another postseason opportunity for us. And then as long as we win that bowl championship, man, we're getting rings, and we'll do the same deal. So
absolutely,
that's our plan, man. That's the schedule, and I'm excited. But again, it doesn't start without spring football.
So if we're talking about spring football, we just had an equipment issue. How'd that go, Coach?
Yeah, first of all, I got to throw a shout out to Tim Tucker, our equipment and ops guy. Man, he is just squared away. He's he's a retired Army first sergeant, and I was an Army captain, so it's like we're commander and first sergeant. It's like we're running a unit together. He's just a great right-hand man. He did such an awesome job. How to organize, equipment issue. You can speak to this. Equipment issues, it's that first experience with the program. Like when you come in as an 8th grader, you get to see it for the first time.
You get to see that locker room for the first time.
Yep, and then you get to see the locker room, and then you kind of get a feel for the program. Is it organized? They got their stuff together.
And to have a guy like Coach Tucker be one of the first faces they see.
Yep.
Talk about character. He's got high character.
That's right, man. He's been to combat and just a great person. So, and I'm just glad that he is the first person that they see. And I was just impressed. Equipment issue can always be hectic, but I tell you what, I don't think I broke a sweat. I don't think he broke a sweat, which is impressive. He's got a good team of managers that help him out too. So it actually went really smooth.
Great.
Yeah.
So we're looking at new players, Coach.
Yeah.
What are the numbers looking like?
So we're looking at we're going to be, I'd say, as we get into this first week of spring, we may be 75 to 80 kids, which is insane. That's the most we've had in a long, long time.
Absolutely.
We had 25 kids come in from 8th grade. You're talking 25 class of 2022 8th graders, which I think we had 25 on varsity when you were playing.
Might have been less than that.
Maybe less than that. So, we're getting almost the whole team showing up, So
you get 80 kids in your whole program. You got a 40 roster right there.
No, man, I'm excited. I just like the kids. Over the last year, I've developed a good relationship with that youth league program. So I know a lot of the kids, and I've seen them, and I've worked with them. So I'm just excited about that whole class of 2022 group. Garrett Tantius, Jake Palmer, Bobby Clark, Valen Vigliotti, Ryan McWilliams. There's a lot of those guys, and then I'm always excited about the kids that haven't played yet that I don't know about. I get all these parents and these kids say, "Well, I want to play, but I haven't played before," and I'm like, some of our best players have been guys that haven't played before high school. Didn't Kyle Bozzignani? He didn't play before high school.
I didn't play before high school.
You didn't play before high school. Tanner Gammon didn't play before high school. I'm thinking of guys that I can name off, like we just talked about, guys that show up on day one and are open to playing, and then end up being really productive and great people, and then go on to do great things. So
absolutely,
the more kids we can expose to our culture and what's going on here at Satellite Football, the better.
Now, I know Coach Hodges, his program, I know he's getting a couple of those kids coming out.
Yeah.
Those kids are going to be in shape.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that program he runs, not just in our 7th period weight training class, but the stuff he does outside of school is crazy. I mean, I see some of these kids and I'm like, what happened to you? And they're like, Coach Hodges happened to me. he's a miracle worker. I mean, the guy is just, and on top of it, he's just a good guy. He's just a good person.
Absolutely.
He's a good man. He cares about these kids, not just about their physical development, but their emotional and mental development over time. And then we just finished up Community Service Day today. We kind of had our first team meeting.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How'd it go with the community service coach?
It was good, man. I think we had about 95% participation on a weekend, which is, the day before we kick off.
Fantastic.
So, we only had a few kids out of town and stuff going on. So, I mean, most of our guys were there today. I kind of laid out some of the expectations, so they didn't show up tomorrow. I mean, some of those freshmen are going to be kind of lost.
Of course.
That's okay. That's expected. You know what I mean? You're coming into something new.
Expect nothing less.
But I told them all, I said, this is a family. Like, we all have brothers and sisters and moms and dads and family members that we love and care about. And sometimes you don't like them, and sometimes they discipline you. But guess what? When you fall down, you want to make sure that family member's there to pick you up. So
absolutely.
So that's kind of what we told the freshmen. You might fall down a couple times, but we got some guys here and the coaching staff here to help you out and pick you up.
Absolutely. So let's move into some spring goals, Coach.
Yeah, but real quick before we get going on that, thanks to IHB Fire Department for hosting the service day. Domino's for our local Domino's for donating and helping us out with the pizza. We were able to help some local families in the area. Again, like I talked about last week, service is kind of one of our number one priorities in the program. So it's really what we build our program on and our foundation. So we were able to go out in the community and build some relationships. We laid a whole pallet of sod down at a local community member's house, and then helped out a local church as well. So it was just a great day. We do this every year, and we're looking forward to do it. If you didn't know, we're going to do another one June 2nd. Make sure you get with our booster club. Their contact information is on our website, satellite-football.com, and make sure you let them know if you need help. So back to the question. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that.
You got some spring goals, Coach.
Spring goals. Man, spring, to be honest with you, spring is like the most important time of the year. Yeah. I mean, you don't even realize as a player, you're like, oh, spring, especially guys that have been in the program before, but it's where you get to install everything.
Yep.
And then on top of that, you kind of get to see what kind of team you're going to be in fall, because you don't really know.
No, you don't know. You don't know during spring.
That's the exciting part about being a high school coach. I don't get to recruit the scheme quarterback.
Yep.
If we're a spread team, I don't get to go out and find my spread quarterback. I just get what we get. So I think it keeps us on our toes as coaches, and
it gives you a first look at what you have.
Yeah, so we're going to see who we are, and so number one goal was to teach and learn. That's our number one goal for spring. So and then number two is to play fast and physical. You can get physical in spring because you got summer to kind of recover, and then it's to evaluate. So we're gonna, by the end of spring, we're gonna know who our varsity roster is, and we're going to find out who's coming to Alabama with us. So we want to see who's going to seize the moment and the opportunity. And then the last one is to acculturate. I know that's a big word. You had a good English teacher.
Can I spell that?
You better. All right. So acculturate, which, bottom line is we want them, especially the new guys, to learn how we do it here. You know what I mean? How we operate, who we are, how the family is, and that's the four main goals for spring. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And practice schedule this week coming up, we're looking at Monday to Friday after school around 3:30 to 6:30. And obviously with the FHSA rules, Monday, Tuesday will be helmets only.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday through Friday will be shoulder pads only. And then we're going to practice on Saturday. I mean, you remember that Saturday practice from last year. It was crazy.
It was fun.
It was intense.
It was fun.
Intense is doesn't even come close to describing how awesome that practice was last year. So we're going to do something very similar. It'll pretty much be the exact same. It's the first day in full pads that we're allowed to be in full pads, and we'll go from like 9 to 11:30, and then we'll give the players food afterwards. I kind of tell them, look, I either got peanut butter and jellies for you, or I got pulled pork sandwiches and mashed potatoes and a bunch of goodies, and it'll depend on how good this practice goes. And it's amazing how much that drives
absolutely.
Motivation.
Absolutely. And then in the back of their mind, they're going to be thinking, I want to be on that travel roster.
Oh, no doubt.
Spring is their showcase.
I want to go to Alabama. I want to go to Alabama. You know what I mean?
That's their showcase. That's the way they're going to make it.
That's right. So I talked to all of them today. I said, and I don't even care if it's a new freshman. I said, we're going to put the best 11 guys out on the field to give us the best chance for success. Varsity is different than JV. Varsity
Absolutely.
This is not youth football anymore. You know, we're going to put the best 11 guys out there that give us the best chance.
You're out there to win.
Yep.
You're out there to win.
There's no personal vendetta here. It's all business.
Absolutely.
At the JV level, a little bit different. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily about that. It's more about
get guys ready to play.
Exactly. More about development and getting them out there playing time. You know what I mean? Yep. So a little bit different here at the varsity level. So that's our main priority is to figure out who we're going to be as a team, and then see what guys step up. I mean, I'm excited. I am. You know, every spring, you you look at afterwards, you're like, man, that kid surprised me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? In the best way possible. So we're looking for so many of those guys this year, and we'll talk more about kind of where we're headed offensively next year. So, and then that's it. The last bullet here is I want you guys to stay tuned this week. Coming up on this week on Twitter, on Facebook, and all of our social media. You can follow us on Twitter at Scorp Football. Follow me as well at Coach Kimmey. You can follow Coach Knox, which are
Alex Knox 1724
at Alex Knox 1724, and our Facebook is facebook.com/satellite football. It's going to have all the pictures, videos, information for all the stuff that's going on this week in our first week of spring football, which kicks off tomorrow. Make sure you're following along, and then next week on our coaches show, we're gonna talk about, we're gonna kind of review week one, over week one. Coach Knox is not going to be here next week. He's got an event. What is it? What are you doing?
Next week.
You're going somewhere. You told me you're going somewhere, or you lied to me.
Going to Mexico from May 5th to.
It's going to Mexico.
May 9th.
Shit, I wish I had your life. What is going on?
It's a graduation present to myself, man.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. So he's going to Mexico. Don't eat the worm, okay? And then actually John Wallace, who's the president of our local Seahawks or the Satellite Beach Seahawks organization, which is our local youth football league. He's going to be the guest host next week.
Yep.
So we're pretty pumped about that. And then. And next week, we'll review week one, and then we'll talk a little bit about the offense next week. I think I'm going to invite some of my offensive players, interview a couple of them, and bring them on the show. So that's kind of where we're looking at, and make sure you stay tuned to all of our social media and to YouTube, and we'll keep you in the loop. So last thing. See, one thing you didn't know about us is we go back and forth all the time on football debates. And,
he was always telling me NFL's rigged. Eagles win the Super Bowl. Haven't heard NFL's rigged in a little while.
You're right, man. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I was just being a baby. But now, you're right. I did say that a lot. But we'd always go back and forth on NFL debate. So coming up this week is the NFL draft on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty excited about that. I know you are too. You're always pumped. But I want to know, just give me your, give me your top three.
My first three picks.
So it goes, who is it, Browns?
It goes Browns, Giants, Jets, Browns.
Oh, God, what, the Browns?
So, Coach, I've figured it out.
All right.
I've figured out what the Browns are doing.
And then I want to hear what you think the Chargers are going to go with.
So,
because he's a Chargers fan.
Give you a little feedback why I believe this.
Okay,
Chargers in 2001 took LaDainian Tomlinson 5th overall, Drew Brees 32nd overall. Ooh. The Browns are going.
Wow.
Saquon Barkley.
Oh my God.
Saquon Barkley's going 1.
Okay.
Then it's going Sam Darnold to the Giants.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield to the Jets.
Okay.
Then we're getting Bradley Chubb, NC State to the Browns, 4th overall.
Okay.
With the 33rd overall pick, it's going to be Oklahoma State quarterback Mason Rudolph.
Ooh, I like it.
That's my projection there.
And you're looking at who's the 33rd pick?
That would be the Browns.
The Browns again?
The Browns again.
How many picks do these guys have?
Too many.
And they never pan out. I hope they pan out this time. I was saying, I'm thinking for the Browns, take 2 quarterbacks.
2 quarterbacks.
And if one works out, then great. You know what I mean?
What 2 quarterbacks you want to take?
At this point, it's like a probability deal. You know, like, let's work probabilities. 50% chance one works out. God, I don't know. You can't, like, how do you justify drafting a running back as a #1 pick? Running back lifespan in the NFL is short.
Coach,
it's short.
Just one highlight film of him. There's comparisons of him and LaDainian Tomlinson. He catches the football like nobody else out the backfield.
No doubt. He's a freak. He's a freak.
And you got Bradley Chubb, who's the best prospect
freak.
at DN since
Von
Von Miller.
Yeah, the one guy said he's better than Myles Garrett.
Yep.
And Garrett went #1 last year. So I think #1, they're going to go Sam Darnold. I think #2, the Giants are going with Josh Allen. What's his name? Josh Allen.
Out of Wyoming?
Yeah. And if the Giants draft, I hope they draft Saquon Barkley, to be honest with you. Because I'm an Eagles fan. I hope Saquon's in the NFC East. We will beat him up. He won't last 5 years. Because who's he running behind? Eric Flowers? The offensive line of the Giants? Well, they do have Nate Solder. They picked up Nate Solder.
Yep.
Okay? So, I don't know. I think they're going to – I don't know how you justify a top 2 pick on a running back in the NFL. I mean, that's why most teams have multiple running backs.
Yep.
Because they know life – you gotta kind of manage their snap count. You do, because they can get beat up pretty quickly. That's just the nature of the NFL. So – do I think it's going to be Saquon? Probably, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a quarterback too. And I love the Mayfield to the Jets deal.
They've got Tyrod Taylor, coach.
Yeah.
And Mayfield to the Jets. Him and Teddy Bridgewater gonna duel it out.
You said Mayfield to the Jets, right?
Absolutely.
Is there #3?
That's #3.
I love that. I think Baker fits that Manhattan, New York City.
New York lifestyle.
Yeah, he is. He's kind of that flashy deal. He's like a Namath reincarnate.
Absolutely.
Kind of like I could hear him guaranteeing a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So I like that fit. I do. And then Eagles wise, I think we're going to go running back. We have Jay Ajayi, but that knee is a concern. We have Corey Clement, an undrafted rookie who just blew up last year. But I think Jay Ajayi's only got 1 year left on his contract. This is a contract year for him. So we'll see how that plays out. But I think we're going to go running back. I'm thinking maybe Darius Geis from LSU,
yep.
or Sony Michel from Georgia, or Ronald Jones from USC.
That kid, he's a speedster.
Speedster. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. My son thinks they're going to draft a tight end. I don't know how you justified a first-round tight end. I mean, he's only 7, though. He needs to get up on his draft knowledge.
Well, Coach, at number 17 overall for the Los Angeles Chargers, that pains me to say, but number 17 overall, we're either getting Derwin James.
Oh, yeah, you didn't say your pick yet.
Florida State free safety.
God, he's another freak.
Vita Vea, Washington nose tackle.
That defensive lineman, yep.
Or we're getting Roquan Smith. If Roquan
none
falls,
of those bad
Coach,
picks. None of those are bad picks. Roquan's a bad man. He is a bad man.
He's a thumper.
Yeah, he is.
He's a thumper.
Well, I'm excited. Let's see if any of our picks are right. We may be totally wrong, but check it out on Thursday and follow along. So we'll be keeping everybody up to date next week, and we'll see where we stand. But again, for Coach Kimmey,
Coach Knox,
this has been the Sunday Coaches Corner, and we'll see y'all next week. Go Scorps.
Go Scorps.